out a little bit of cupcake, which we like to call the belly button. And when there are belly buttons that have been belly buttoned from the cake, this is the bit that everyone in this kitchen comes to.
We all eat them.
Okay, here are our baked sponge cupcakes. So they're warm, they've been cooling. They came out of the oven, they've all risen really nicely. They tend to settle down a little bit, and now we're just left with a warm, soft cupcake. Should we open one up?
Yeah, let's have a look.
So that's super fluffy. It's got a really nice little crispy outer edge.
Yeah, I think the crust of a cake is like the best bit of a cake.
That is the best bit. But we're going to make them better. What we're going to do next, Beth?
We're going to fill them with some pecan caramel.
We've made this before in a previous video. We're going to add some chopped pecans into it just to give it a little bit more of a crunch. But we're going to show you how we core our cupcakes, because we use this little tool that we really like. It's this funny little tool. And it goes in and you give it a little twist and it comes back out and it cores it and it brings out a little bit of cupcake, which we like to call the belly button. Well, they look like belly buttons. Yeah.
Yeah. When I first started working here and you called them belly buttons, I was a little bit sick in my mouth. Now the term only means this to me, and I don't associate it with human body parts anymore.
So show us how you do it.
So you want to hold the cupcake fairly firm from the bottom, and you want to twist. If you go straight in, the middle won't come out.
Okay.
So you want to twist your cupcake, and then you can like tip it upside down to make sure it's come out, and then you get a little...
I love this so much. This is the belly button. I tell you now, it's the best bit.
It's the best bit.
If you don't have a corer, it's super easy to do one without. Save me one. I'm going to go and get a knife and I'll show you exactly how I do it. I'm just going to use a little paring knife, and I'm just literally just cutting a little hole in the top and creating my own little belly button. Okay, so let's fill these with our salted caramel. We've made this caramel before. It had set in the fridge, and then we've just warmed it up ever so slightly so that we've got a softer consistency. I'm just going to sprinkle some chopped pecans into there. I'm going to put the salted caramel into our piping bag. This can be a little bit messy, depends who's doing it. If it's me, generally a bit messy. We don't need a nozzle for this, we just want something to kind of guide it in. I'll take your set.
Thanks.
We don't want this to go into anything, so straight in the bin.
Yes. Oh, I've not made it big enough. You just want it big enough to let the nuts through that you have put in. There we go. And you just want to fill it right to the very top, because an underfilled cupcake is really disappointing. But if you overflow over, although more tasty, will look very messy in the end once you put buttercream and things on. I've got a nut blockage.
A nut blockage?
Yeah. I think it might go bigger again. There we go. There we go.
I don't mind that this happens, because it just means that there's something for us to eat when nobody's watching.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he needs a bit more.
He needs a bit more.
Okay. So we're going to put these in the fridge just to set up, and then we're going to come back and show you how we're going to decorate them. Great, so we have filled our cupcakes. They are in the fridge. We are now just going to talk about how we're going to decorate them. These are called Caramelised Pecan Cupcakes. So as you would imagine, they have caramelised pecans on. In a previous video, we have shown you how to make these. Super delicious, super crunchy, sugary, caramelised pecans. And this one here is also caramelised pecans.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk me through what we did
here? So I've literally taken the caramelised pecans and you just blend them in a blender until they make this fine crumb, which we're going to use to decorate the cupcake with, and they taste delicious.
Great. So how are we going to decorate this cupcake, Beth?
Going to do a swirl of buttercream on them.
Swirl of buttercream. Great.
So these are from the fridge. We set them in earlier so they're nice and firm, because if you try and decorate a very soft cupcake, you will probably end up with crumbs everywhere.
We don't want crumbs. So the key to not having crumbs is a cold cupcake.
Cold cupcake.
Okay, so these have been in the fridge. We've filled them with our salted caramel that we made in a previous video. And now we're just going to decorate them with our salted caramel Italian meringue buttercream, which we also made in a previous video. So let's fill our piping bag.
So this is the buttercream that we made before.
Super soft, super silky Italian meringue buttercream. This is the one that doesn't have a super sweet flavour to it. It's got a lot of butter in it, which makes it really silky and light and really delicious.
So I've got a piping bag and a nozzle. This is, what nozzle is this?
That is a Gen 3 ES.
Gen 3 ES. So that can go in. And then the trick is, if you push your nozzle all the way to the end, you know exactly where it's going to come to so that you can pop it back and cut to exactly where that is. And then, to stop it coming straight out the bottom, just twist your bag and stuff it in the hole. And you have a little seal then that your fillings won't come out of.
We use Italian meringue for quite a lot of our cupcake toppings because they're not quite so sweet, but it's certainly not the only thing that we would use. We use just a normal American buttercream, which is just butter and icing sugar, quite often flavoured with something. We would also use something like cream cheese, which is a really nice texture, got a slightly soury taste to it. But there's something about this silky buttercream that is particularly nice. It's quite nice to pipe as well, isn't it?
It is nice to pipe with, but it's a little bit gloopy almost, so it all comes out in one motion and you have to
go with it.
You have to go with the motion
Show
that
us,
it comes
Beth.
out. So this is how we do our
You look
swirl.
as big as the piping bag.
I am as big as the piping bag. If I hover over, this is how we do it our way, and you hover over and then we try and not make a snail.
No snails.
No snail. So we're just gonna lick that.
Nice. Where are you going to go next?
I can't decide. I'm gonna go across.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna do the whole lot.
Looking good.
There we go.
So we've got a perfect little swirl on the top there. Still see a little bit of cake around the outside. We're now going to add to that our caramelised pecans that have been crushed.
Rums.
Show me how, Beth.
People got different ways of doing it. You can shovel, but I just dip. So you want to hold your bowl with your nuts right to the edge and then sort of flop the cupcake in the side and dip them all around the edge and so you get a nice coating.
That will give a really nice crispy outer texture when you eat the cupcake. So you've got the smooth, like light buttercream on the inside with a little bit of a crunchy caramelised texture on the outside. And then we're going to choose our neatest caramelised pecans. We've gone for ones that don't have anything attached to them and they're just the little half pieces. And we're going to put these on the top of the cupcake. Do we just lie them on the top?
Yes, brain up.
Brain up!
That's the brain side.
I'm not sure I like the sound of the brain. We often quite like to finish our cupcakes with a shard of chocolate as well. We temper our own chocolate here and we have transfer sheets that have got our logo on. This is something that we'll show you in another video, but we have some here that we've made and they're just pieces of chocolate that we have cut into triangles that have got my name on them.
As it should be.
Are we just placing these on here like this?
There we go.
So we sell these cupcakes in our shops every day. I would say that this is
Yes.
one of our classic cupcakes, isn't it? What other flavours have we got on at the
We've
moment?
got pistachio, rose, raspberry.
That's really popular.
That's quite a popular one, and we have it in a lot of different forms, so we do the occasion cake in it. And we've got a cake batter cupcake on at the moment, and it's got cream cheese icing and things on it.
And a macaron on the top.
And a macaron on the top.
My favourite.
Here we go, they're all coated.
Do you want to carry on putting
Yeah,
the
I can
brains
do
on? So there we have it. This is our caramelised pecan cupcake, filled with salted caramel, topped with a caramelised pecan on the top, a chocolate shard, and the blitzed caramelised pecans around the outside. Okay,
Let's eat them.
let's eat them.
Let's
The best
eat
bit.
them.
Let's just cut straight through one of them. This little guy here looks pretty good. Okay. I might take his edges off first.
Yeah, very neat.
So I'm just going to go through the middle.
Nice.
So what we have here, we've got our really super soft sponge with our soft caramelised pecan salted caramel centre with the soft soft, silky Italian meringue buttercream on the top. And then we've got our caramelised pecan and the pecan crumb as well, and our chocolate shard. The only one thing left to do.
Should we eat it?
Let's eat it. Which one do you want?
The nut.
Going in.
Okay.
It is so good. I kind of want to make it into a sandwich.
Yeah, you didn't sandwich it.
I didn't sandwich it. I like to sandwich my cupcakes, the base on the top, and eat it like this.
So good.
That is so good. I suppose we should wrap this up. Yeah. Check out some of our other videos. We've showed you how to make the caramel and the caramelised pecans in another video, and watch out for some more that we're going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you again.
And it's really light because of the fluffy sponge and the Italian buttercream.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like you could eat several and wouldn't be sick.